You've been taught that if you're kind, humble, and selfless, the world will repay you, that good deeds come full circle, that people help those who deserve it. But here's the ugly truth. The world doesn't work that way. Manipulative people, the ones who always seem to get what they want, don't beg, they don't guilt trip, they don't even say please, and yet doors open for them. Favors flow their way. Help arrives without question. Why? Because they understand one ruthless psychological rule. No one helps you out of kindness. They help you out of self-interest. Today, we're tearing apart the hidden playbook these people use, the scripts, the tactics, the psychological triggers that make others bend to their will, and more importantly, how you can use this knowledge without becoming the villain. This isn't about manipulation. It's about seeing the game for what it really is. Let's begin. Let's start by shattering the biggest lie you've been fed, the myth of pure altruism. That warm, fuzzy idea that people help others out of kindness. It's bullshit. And I've got the receipts to prove it. Neuroscience shows our brains literally light up with pleasure when we help, but only when we choose to. Force us, that pleasure disappears. A 2017 University of Zurich study proved this by monitoring brain activity during forced versus voluntary charity. The kicker, that warm glow of helping, is chemically identical to the high of selfish pleasure. Your brain doesn't distinguish between doing good and feeling good, because they're the same thing. Ever notice how billionaires love putting their names on hospitals? A Harvard study analyzed $8 billion in donations and found public recognition increased, giving by 300%. But when researchers offered anonymous donations, contributions plummeted. This is the vanity principle. People help when it makes them look good. That's why GoFundMe campaigns with photos raise 3 times more. Not because people care more, because they care about being seen caring. Robert Cialdini's famous free Coke experiment proved how favors create obligation. Researchers gave subjects a free drink, then asked them to buy raffle tickets. The catch? Those who got the drink bought 2 times more tickets. But here's what nobody tells you. This only works if the recipient feels indebted. If they sense manipulation, backfire effect. That's why skilled manipulators never say remember when I helped you. They make you feel like you're helping yourself. Oxford anthropologists found we'll help in-group members 4 times more than strangers. But twist, the in-group can be manufactured instantly. A 2020 Stanford study had strangers wear the same color shirts. Suddenly, they favored each other. This explains why cults use uniforms, why fraternities haze, why militaries buzz-cut recruits. Shared identity equals increased helping, but it's not loyalty, it's selfish gene theory playing out. Here's the coldest truth. People help based on future value, not past kindness. UCLA, researchers tracked workplace promotions over 10 years. Result, employees who helped bosses got promoted 20% more, but employees who made bosses look good got promoted 300% more. The lesson, past help means nothing. Future potential means everything. That's why the most successful people always frame requests as investments, not obligations. So let's stop pretending help is about morality. It's about calculus. And once you understand the equation, you'll never beg for help again. Let's talk about betrayal, not the soap opera kind, the kind that built empires. Because when you strip away the fairy tales, history shows us one brutal truth. Loyalty is just self-interest in disguise. And nowhere does this play out more clearly than in the story of Castruccio Castracani, the man who turned gratitude into a death warrant. 1325, AD Lucca, Italy. A bastard-born mercenary named Castruccio claws his way from street fights to city walls. His weapon? Understanding human nature better than the philosophers. While academics debated morality, Castruccio practiced the calculus of power, realizing early that alliances aren't friendships, they're our temporary mergers of interest. The Poggio family, Lucca's elite, saw value in this human weapon. They funded him, armed him, even murdered his rivals. Not out of kindness, because a warlord in their pocket meant control. This was venture capitalism with daggers, and for years, the arrangement worked, until the balance shifted. The moment Castruccio seized absolute power, the Poggios made their fatal miscalculation. They invoked the language of debt. Remember who made you. Big mistake. Because in power dynamics, reminding someone they owe you is like waving red meat at a lion. Modern psychology explains this through reactance theory, our hardwired resistance to perceived coercion. University of Kentucky studies show that even subtle reminders of obligation trigger aggression in dominant personalities. The Poggios didn't just ask for repayment, they threatened his status. And status threats get met with violence. Castruccio's response was chillingly efficient. He invited the entire Poggio family to a reconciliation feast at his palace. The doors locked. The guards drew steel. And in one night, he wiped out every living relative, including Stefano, the one who'd brokered peace days earlier. This wasn't just cruelty, it was strategic signaling. What game theorists call costly punishment. By overreacting spectacularly, he communicated to all future allies. Debt is mine to acknowledge, not yours to claim. You think this is ancient history? Ask any founder who took VC money. That supportive investor becomes a tyrant the moment you miss growth targets. The mentor who helped your career. Watch how fast they distance themselves if you stumble. This isn't cynicism, it's behavioral economics. A 2021 MIT study tracked 500 mentor-protégé relationships. Result? 83% of mentors withdrew support the moment the protégé's struggles threatened their own reputation. No malice, just the invisible arithmetic of self-preservation. The lesson: never rely on gratitude. Build relationships where helping you always serves the other person's present interest. Because past favors, those are just receipts for a debt no one wants to pay. You think you're in control of your decisions? Think again. Manipulators don't force, they frame. They don't demand. They design the conversation so that helping them feels like your idea. And after studying hundreds of cases, from cult leaders to corporate climbers, I've identified the 4 most dangerous scripts they use. Learn them, because right now, you're probably falling for at least one. This is manipulation disguised as flattery. I wouldn't trust anyone else with this. You're the only one who gets it. Why it works. A Harvard study found that appeals to uniqueness trigger a dopamine spike, literally addicting people to the interaction. When you're told you're special, your brain craves the validation. A real-world example? Steve Jobs was infamous for this. He'd tell engineers, "I'm giving you this project because no one else is brilliant enough." Result? 90-hour work weeks. For free. How to spot it? If helping them makes you feel chosen instead of used, you're in the trap. The oldest trick in the book: help me now and I'll owe you. Behavioral economists call this hyperbolic discounting. Our brain values immediate rewards over future ones. They offer a vague later to exploit your now. A University of Pennsylvania study tracked 1,000 workplace favors. 73% of promised repayments never happened. But here's the twist. People kept agreeing because the idea of reciprocity was enough. Politicians do this constantly. Support my campaign and I'll remember you. Then, silence. How to counter it? The moment someone says, "I'll owe you," reply, "Put it in writing." Watch how fast they backpedal. They manufacture urgency. This is a one-time opportunity. If you don't act now, it's gone. Princeton researchers found scarcity triggers, loss aversion, a psychological glitch where we fear missing out more than we value gaining. Nigerian prince scams, fake limited time offers, even your boss saying, "This promotion window closes tomorrow." Real opportunities don't pressure you. If it's truly valuable, it'll still be there after you think. The most insidious one. Most people wouldn't get it, but you're different. It attacks your self-concept. Saying no now means admitting you're ordinary, and the brain would rather comply than face that. Cults use this to recruit. Other people are sheep, but you see the truth. Ask, what happens if I say no? If they pivot to guilt, you've caught them. Notice what ties these together. They make refusal feel like losing, like you're betraying yourself, not them. That's the dark genius of manipulation. It doesn't feel like coercion. It feels like your idea. So next time someone's offering you an opportunity, ask one question. Who really benefits here? Before we arm you, let's get one last fairy tale. The myth that self-defense makes you the villain. Bullshit. The world's most dangerous lie is that setting boundaries is cruel, that protecting yourself is manipulation, that saying no makes you the bad guy. Here's the truth. The only people who call your armor aggression are those who benefited from your vulnerability. Today, we're building that armor, not from malice, but from mathematics. Because power isn't about domination, it's about strategic invulnerability. Manipulators win by controlling how situations are framed. Your first defense? Reframe everything. Their move. We're a family here. Translation, we'll exploit you emotionally. Your counter. Families don't use each other. Deadpan, watch them squirm. A Cambridge study found that simply rephrasing demands as questions, is this what families do? Forces manipulators to justify themselves, flipping the power dynamic instantly. When Elon Musk told Twitter employees, hardcore hours or exit, the ones who survived asked, will you be working these hours too? Suddenly, the frame wasn't loyalty, it was fairness. Weak people justify, powerful people decline. University of Chicago research shows that giving reasons for refusal makes you 83% more likely to be negotiated with. The counterintuitive solution: just say no. No explanation, no apology. Manipulators feed on your need to be understood. Silence after refusal triggers their insecurity. A 2023 Stanford study proved unjustified. No's are perceived as 2.3x more authoritative or script to steal. Them. Can you. No. Them. But why? You. Maintain eye contact. Smile slightly. Say nothing. This isn't rudeness. It's psychological jujitsu. Making them taste their own medicine. When someone tries to manipulate you, reflect it back verbatim. Them. Only you can help with this. You. Only you can solve my problem too. I need X by Friday. MIT researchers found this triggers conceptual conflict in the manipulator's brain. Their own weapon used against them causes literal cognitive dissonance. Catherine the Great used this against scheming nobles. When they'd say, Russia needs your sacrifice, she'd reply, Russia needs your estates then. Suddenly, their patriotism vanished. Here's how the elite defend themselves. They establish reciprocity before it's requested. Before we continue, what can you offer in return for my help? Forces them to negotiate from weakness. A 2022 Yale study showed preemptive framers win 72% more concessions. Even if they back out, you've established you're not a mark. Ask for something absurd first. I'll need a $500 deposit. When they balk, compromise to your real ask. They'll feel like they won. Final truth. The best defense isn't learning their tricks. It's becoming the type of person they avoid targeting. How? 1. Never appear endlessly available. 2. Sometimes. Let small requests fail, tests their boundaries. 3. Always. Have visible alternatives. People respect those with options. This isn't about fighting manipulation. It's about making yourself manipulation-proof. The wolves don't attack the armed hunter. They stalk the sheep who think kindness is armor. Right now, you think you have a choice. You don't. In this world, there is no middle ground, only predator and prey. The data doesn't lie. A 2023 Columbia study tracked 1,000 professionals for a decade. Those who avoided playing games were 3 times more likely to be passed over for promotions. FBI behavioral analysts found that nice people are targeted by manipulators within 17 seconds of meeting them. This isn't philosophy, it's Mao, biological arithmetic. You either learn the rules or become a casualty. You keep taking the high road. You smile when disrespected. You kill them with kindness. Here's your future. Your friends will slowly drain you. UCLA study. Givers attract 4.2 times more takers. Your career will plateau. Harvard research. Agreeable people earn 18% less. You'll die with a tombstone that says, "He was nice," instead of, "He mattered." You study power. You set ruthless boundaries. You reward loyalty and punish betrayal. Your future. Manipulators. Avoid you. Naval War College finding. Predators skip armored targets. Opportunities find on you Mao. Stanford data. Decisive people get 73% more unsolicited offers. You leave a legacy, not an apology. One path is comfortable. The other is alive. Choose. Look at your last year. The favors you did, the compromises you made, the times you bit your tongue. Now answer honestly. Did virtue get you what you wanted? Or did it just make you easier to swallow? This isn't about becoming cruel. It's about ceasing to be weak. The war is already here. The only question left is, which side will you die on?